from this cohort will be part of our cohort in the fall. So end-to-end, entrepreneur to us is a way to get students kind of into this pipeline and really to get them to think about what is it that is in their minds that they want to go after, and really take that challenge upon themselves of what is it that I really want to go do, and remove all of the reasons for why I shouldn't do it. So that's my little semi-sales pitch. With that, any questions before we get rolling into the pitches? All right, I hand it over then to Kelly first.
Awesome, thank you. All right, so thank you all for being here. My name is Kelly Pratt, and I am the Exchange Program Manager for 3 Day Startup. I've been one of the co-facilitators here with Adam. Oh yes, thank you. We're not just smooth transitions yet. So thank you all for being here. We have been super excited to be working with these students all weekend. Usually we're working with university students, so it's been really cool to be working with a younger group that honestly has some of the best ideas, I think. It's just been really cool. You guys may have seen that we had another program running across the hall here. Those are all University of Texas at Austin undergraduate, graduate students, and also some young professionals that are sprinkled in there. And our CEO is over here on the first day saying that when this has happened in similar years, there's often been, even more solid pitches over here than over on that side. So it's been really cool to see. So special thanks to our partners here that have made Entrepreneur be able to run another year. Super excited. As I said, I'm Kelly Pratt. I work full-time for 3 Day Startup, and then I'm facilitating. And here is Adam. He also works here in Capital Factory, not for 3 Day Startup, but he is one of our certified facilitators. So we both have had the pleasure of being here all weekend. I would also like to take this time to give a special shout out to the panelists that have taken time out of their weekends. I'd love for each of you to stand up and do a quick introduction of yourselves, if you all wouldn't mind. Katie, would you like to start?
My name is Katie Fang. I run a company called Schoolings. We help high school districts to streamline their college readiness program. In other words, we help you kids get into college. So if you would like to sign up for a trial account at schoolings.com, that will be more than welcome. So I am a startup founder, and then my company went through Capital Factory Accelerator program, which is hosted right here. So graduated not long ago, and I think I can relate somehow to you guys. Don't be intimidated, it's going to be a good experience.
Hi, I'm Sandeep. I just work with startups, entrepreneurs, work with them on their funding, acceleration, whatever help they need in building their business.
I'm Jeff McMahon. I have a 17-year-old daughter, so I love what you guys are doing here. A ton of respect for all your work. UT graduate, worked in Silicon Valley about 15 years, been here ever since. Part of 6 early stage companies. Most of them actually did pretty well, and we're trying to do that again with my current opportunity. So thanks for the opportunity to be here.
I'm Simon Eric. I have a 14-year-old digital agency here in Austin called Site Goals. Also have a software company called Quotingly for quotes and proposals for service-based companies. I know STEMED Labs from just from an event that we're actually throwing in May, which is a Pinewood Derby race for local companies to compete against, and they're our charity this year that we are raising money for them. So looking forward to it.
Thank you guys again for being here. So for those of you who may not be familiar with who 3 Day Startup is as an organization, we are a nonprofit based here in Texas, in Austin. We came out of the University of Texas at Austin actually in 2008 as a student group and incorporated as a nonprofit organization in 2010. Throughout those years, we've now run about 350 programs, actually over that. And we've been in over 30 countries now. We actually had 6 programs running this weekend. So we had 3 going on in Texas, 1 in Wisconsin, 1 in Malawi, and 1 in the UK. So we're all over the place. It's really awesome work to be able to be working with young, aspiring entrepreneurs all the time. We exist because what we found is that there's not really a place where artists have studios and engineering students have labs to work in. And you know, all these other disciplines have these applied practices, right? And so entrepreneurship, we didn't really have that place to learn by doing. I'm noting the Michigan shirt here and the Michigan shirt in the audience. I have to say that I'm an Ohio State Buckeye graduate, so no hard feelings there. But I haven't been able to work this picture out of the slideshow yet. But yeah, so this is the applied environment for entrepreneurship. As Rapal was talking about before, these students have been working all the way from ideation now to this final culmination of final pitches. So really exciting. We also have had about 90 companies launched out of those programs. You can see that over $80 million in investor capital has been raised. I was going to say, yeah, we actually just learned in our last staff meeting that it's actually over $100 million. I believe it was a program that ran in Bangkok that we realized it actually had a recent successful round. So super exciting. 34 companies have been accepted into incubators and accelerator programs, including Y Combinator 500 startups here at Capital Factory as well. So it's been really cool to see some of the ideas come out of here, be launched, or the group stick together and work on another idea. One thing I'll highlight is our Entrepreneurial Excellence Awards. So we want to make sure that we are recognizing awesome aspiring entrepreneurs as well as educators. So if you all know of anybody that is deserving of this award, these stay open all year. And I joked on the first night that it's basically like right after they close, they open right back up for the next year. So please keep this in mind and nominate someone if you have anyone in mind.
Is that limited to students and professors, or is that?
It's not. Actually, Ellison, could you tell us all the categories? This is one of my coworkers, Ellison, back here, and she manages our Entrepreneurial Excellence Awards.
These are, we have 5 categories for the Entrepreneurial Excellence Awards. They're the top 10 entrepreneurship students of the year, top 10 entrepreneurship professors of the year, 3-day startup alum of the year, 3-day startup lead organizer of the year, and entrepreneurship initiative of the year, whether that's community or on school. If you're an organization trying to build more entrepreneurship in your community, build more of an ecosystem, that's what that category is for as well.
Awesome. Thank you. She answered your question much better than I would be able to there. So we also do enterprise work, and so we also go into companies to ensure that we are continuing to drive innovation in some of these larger companies. So you'll notice some Austin-based companies. We have HomeAway, we have Retail Me Not, but what we found is that these modules actually work quite well. We work with middle schoolers, high schoolers, university students, and these same modules that we work through actually work really well when you apply them to mid to late career folks as well. So exciting to know. So this evening, which you guys are probably most excited for, we're going to have final pitches. So we'll have 5 teams that are up here. They'll have 3 to 5 minutes each, and then there will be 5 minutes of feedback from just the panelists here, actually, though. That's a little bit different. Throughout the weekend, part of this was students were actually able to give feedback to each other in the first 2 rounds of feedback, as well as some of the STEM Ed folks guys and some mentors and us as co-facilitators. So just a note that if you guys have any other questions that you didn't get out in the first 2 rounds, that you'll have to talk to the other teammates afterwards. But without further ado, we will introduce our first team.
Unlocked.
Unlocked. All right. The students don't actually know the order right now that I'm realizing, so there you go.
The button is the down button. Alright. Alright, we are unlocked and we are the key to your password management. See our friend Jim here. Jim has a report due today. Except he can't remember the password that IT gave him. It's long and complicated and he shoved it in a drawer a long time ago and forgot about it. See, Jim isn't the problem. Passwords are the problem. Passwords, when used, people use the same password for every website, and that's incredibly insecure. And the systems that people use to organize their passwords involve notebooks and spreadsheets shoved on flash drives, and they're super cumbersome. Overall, passwords are an inconvenience and a menace to society, and we have a solution.
Okay, so there are 2 steps to downloading a program. First, you download it onto your computer, then you download the app on your phone. So this is the first screenshot here is the app on your phone, And the first step is you get a backup password in case you like lose your phone or something. And you just basically write that down and put it in a notebook or something. Forget about it, I guess. And so the program on your computer will give you a barcode to scan. Scan it with your phone, and that syncs your computer to kind of access the passcode to get into your password manager. And then once you're in password manager, you can just hit your drop down and get to Google or Gmail or Hotmail, or I don't know what you use, but and it auto-fills all your passwords in there, and you just hit sign in, you're in. And so this is a very convenient system. All your passwords are in one spot. You don't have to go looking for them. You don't have to look at your spreadsheets. You don't have to look at your notebooks. It is very secure because we can also auto-generate passwords, and they're 30 characters long. They're not 6 characters long like some of the easier passwords would be. And this could be used for like management. Management can issue passcodes, and employees can't lose their passcodes because the management knows the passcodes that they issue.
So our total available market are smartphone users who make up 77% of the US population, and the password management market is projected to be worth $706.6 million by 2019. So first, we will be releasing a consumer version of our software and spread the word through Google Ads. And from there, once we get a lot of consumers, our enterprise sales team will spread the word to specifically high-tech businesses by making like cold calls. And you can find us on the iOS App Store as well as the Android App Store, and also, of course, our website. So like I said, initially we will be targeting consumers, and from there, once we get a lot of consumers, we'll start pitching it to the businesses, specifically high-tech businesses and the IT administrators.
So our password manager has all the features of the competitors, like filling forms automatically and sharing passwords with friends and family. But it also has no password to secure it. So you don't have to remember a password to get at your passwords, because that's just completely missing the point. Also, like a credit card, our password manager will be able to determine when hackers are into your accounts, and you can individually set the security levels for each of your individual accounts to say make your bank account more secure than just your email. And we have a competitive cost for the personal edition. So we can sell the personal edition at a cost of $12 per year for a premium version. And to get users hooked, we'll have a free version that contains most of the features. Power users will want to take advantage, and so they can access the premium version for $12 a year. For enterprise, we can sell for $3 per user per month. And with the password manager, there'll be management tools, so IT administrators can have the peace of mind of their employees having secure passwords. And they'll be able to set certain security policies to say have passwords be a certain length, and they'll be able to do all of that management from this backend. And our team is Neil, Varen, me, Sagar, Garrett, and Spencer, all the way back. Thank you.
Can you guys?
Sorry, do you guys want to join the team at the front?
Your whole team should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is a great product. I know this is a big problem and challenge. In fact, recently on a group that I belong to, which is agency owners around the world, this has been a big topic of discussion with 1Password and LastPass being the two leaders in this space. Can you go back through your solution just very briefly? Like, I don't think I quite grasped your value here, your advantage.
Yeah, of course. So the way our solution is different is it involves codes instead of a password. So your phone is the primary device in which our password manager lives. And so when you go pull it up on the computer, instead of given a login box, you're given a code. You pull out your phone, you scan the code, and everything is linked. And then all your accounts can be auto-filled on the computer.
Okay. And so you unlock it once, and then all the sites have access to your bank of passwords. Is that correct?
Yeah, or all the computer devices.
I have a question. So what happens if I accidentally lose my phone?
So that's where the backup code comes in. Where we have, so you get a code when you first download the app, and you write that down, you put it in a notebook, put it in a drawer. Then what you can do is, if you lose your phone, you go to the website, you type in your backup code, and they say, okay, well because you have the right code, we know that it's you, and it lets you set up your account on a new device, so you can transition in that way.
You can delete all your information off the old device, so nobody can access it.
So I'm an Apple user. How does it differ? And also I'm a Dashlane user as well, a paid user. I'm just wondering how you're trying to get a lot of consumer users. How are you getting them to switch away from iCloud password management or Google Smart Lock?
Right, so a pretty common feature among the password managers like Dashlane that would be pretty easy to implement was importing passwords, either through you sign in one time and it automatically remembers it from that time on forward, or it can go through your entire library stored in Chrome, stored in Safari, and import it directly into our application.
My question was more on the growth strategy, because as an enterprise user for my company, we all use Dashlane to manage all my team members' passwords. But then for a personal perspective, I wouldn't use Dashlane. I would still rely on iCloud because it syncs with multiple devices. So from your growth strategy, as a consumer, I wouldn't switch because yours costs money, and whereas iCloud, it comes with my phone and my computer.
Right. I don't think we have a strategy at this time for linking the enterprise and consumer parts.
What's the distinction between what you do from a freeware perspective versus charging? You mentioned a lot of the features that you'd have for free versus what's for pay. What's the distinction there?
So the distinction is basically more security options. So people who want, when you log into certain accounts, you want to get a notification on your phone before it lets you log in. That lets multi-factor options like that. Maybe Touch ID verification, access to additional features like that, or just exporting, just other stuff like that.
Okay. And have you guys done, I'm just curious, have you done any analysis around how LastPass or any of these other vendors have kind of become successful? Did they have some secret sauce that allowed them to generate more traction maybe than some of their competitors did?
Yeah, I don't think so.
We haven't done anything like that.
Okay. As you kind of look at best practices about how you can get into the market, that might be a useful thing to explore.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you guys.
So,
Oh, sorry, yep.
no,
You good?
out of time?
If you have a quick question, we can definitely.
I was gonna just ask them, the phone has this smart code, barcode. Is that a fixed barcode, or it's randomly generates a new one?
Mm-hmm. It's randomly generated. So every time you load up the page,
So
there's.
if I lose my phone and you have it, now it will generate it and you can access all my accounts?
No. If you can go into the website and you can lock it down. And so then when that happens, all your information will be erased from the existing devices and you can set it up on a new phone.
So I would need to if I lose my phone, I need to quickly cancel it online.
Yes, but it'll be a very easy process.
I see.
Thank you guys.
Alright, next up is adaptable. Or sorry, staccato. Alright, first. Who's controlling?
We are staccato, the easiest way to learn your first song. Learning an instrument can be really difficult. It takes a long time to get started because of things like scales, learning how to read music, learning music theory. People quit because it takes so long to get started. They can't see real progress and the end seems unreachable. Our solution to this is that you only learn the song through our service that you want to learn. Our service teaches you through tutorials the one song so that you don't have to deal with all the background that other places provide. The way this works is you select the song you want to do, and then the tutorial goes like this. So our site does the video, and then it does it slowly, just a few notes at a time, and then you repeat. It listens until you make sure that you've played it correctly. After that, it speeds up until eventually you're playing it at the correct tempo. So after you've played this at the correct tempo, it adds on a few notes. And then slowly, through sheer repetition of the amount of times you've practiced this, you have the whole thing, your muscle memory kicks in, and you have the song memorized. The way we do it is you pay per song. It's only a commitment to the one song you want to learn. It's a simple transaction, and it's a one-time thing. So who are we targeting with this?
We want to target people who just want to learn 1 or 2 songs and don't want to have to deal with all of the other theory parts. Those could be useful if you wanted to learn more, but this is for the people who don't. So we did some polls and found that about 85% of people want to pick up a new instrument. We found that there's 162 million people in the United States who are in our age demographic. And there are about 138 million people who would therefore be inside of our target area. So we'd want to be advertising on places like Spotify, Pandora, or iHeartRadio. Because if someone wants to play music but doesn't know where to start, that's the kind of place they would go to. So that's all well and good, but what about the competition? What makes us better?
So the two main competitors either suffer from a lack of variety, a lack of usability, or a lack of real-time feedback. Staccato overcomes all 3 of those by having a wide variety of songs that you can get to playing easily. And there's very little learning curve because you don't have to learn a lot of the theory associated with it. You progress quickly through your song because we give you real-time feedback on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong so that you can finish up that song as quickly as possible. This is the team. I am Zachary, this is Krishanu, and Sydney. Between us, we all have programming experience and 20 plus years of collective musical instrument experience. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
So how do you guys overcome the 101 kind of how you hold the instrument, where your fingers go in the keys, that initial piece that you have to at least know a little bit of before they get to actually playing their first song?
We really want to just start simple. We want to start with piano. We don't know the easiest way yet to reach other instruments, but piano is pretty simple, down to earth. You just put your fingers here, and it's easy to represent visually.
Okay.
So you would get the songs, and for every song you would buy the music or the charts.
Yes, you would buy the
So you would need to buy all those, and then you would be selling per song to the user.
Yes, sir.
And it's online, and you're playing that music as the person learns.
Correct, yes.
I do agree with the other panelists that you need some personal touch to, when you're first starting out. For example, I played piano for 5 years, and I remember my teacher literally told me how you should, I don't know, position your hands and how you should stretch your fingers every so often, yada yada. So I remember that, so I don't know, maybe a tutorial at the very beginning to have some sort of education on that would be good. And also the other thing I noted down was for your marketing channel, I don't think by advertising on Spotify, iHeartRadio will do much. Instead, there are a lot of how-to videos on YouTube. You can get those influencers to, help you do marketing, word of mouth or influencer marketing, or like even advertise on their channel.
That's a great idea.
That would be cheaper.
Can I just ask a little bit more about the product itself? So it's piano only, right? I don't think you guys said that at the beginning, or if you did, I missed that, just so you know.
So the hope is to expand into other instruments, but as she said, they still have to be relatively simple, like piano and guitar, because more complicated instruments would be harder to teach without an actual instructor.
Sure. That's helpful. And then, So does someone, so I'm playing, I'm trying to learn, I have a keyboard at home, and I'm sounding it out through the video, whatever technique you're using to help me. And then how do you guys provide feedback as part of that process? How does that work?
So we would use the microphone that's on whatever device you're using, whether it's
Okay.
your phone or your laptop, to hear it and then identify whether you've got it correctly.
So you'd have an individual at your company listening while someone's practicing, or how does that work exactly?
There are already services that do that kind of thing automated.
Right.
So we would do that, so that it would automatically identify it without having anybody have to do it by ear.
So the
Okay.
intent would be to have sheet music that can kind of highlight where it is as it plays through in the tutorial, and then when you're playing back through on your own, it will be listening and kind of highlighting where you should be going. And like I said, with the real-time feedback, letting you know if you did it correctly or not.
And it's an automated system, in other words, there's no human intervention on your side to support the process.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Like a lot of karaoke apps, right?
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So my question is this kind of ready, like if I want to give it a try?
Not yet, because we don't have the programming experience or time over the weekend to have fully developed this, but we'd like to.
Good job.
Okay, any other questions, panelists? Good? Okay, thank you guys.
Next up is TV robotics. Is it?
Questions?
Alright, hello everyone, it's nice to meet you all. My name is Oscar, and let's face it, pet hair is a huge problem. It gets on everything and it's just an utter pain to clean. We're talking clothes, furniture, and most importantly, carpets. It just sticks in there and won't come out. So I know I had a bad experience with this when I was 8. I was going over to my friend's house, and we were really trying to have some fun, a few hours of video games and all that. But it was cut short after 10 minutes because I started getting severe allergies all of a sudden, just out of nowhere. I had to go home and I had to take medication because it was a pretty severe allergy attack. And the cause was just white fur all over my pants. And so I know that my friend and his family, like so many others in America, really tried to clean up the house before I came over. And unfortunately, they couldn't make it work and I ended up with the allergy attack. So, are they to blame or are the tools they used to blame? In my opinion, it's the tools they used. So let's take a look at some of the tools that exist today. So my team and I made this chart rating the efficiency and the effectiveness of current products on cleaning carpets, especially with regards to cleaning pet hair on carpets. The first one we looked at was the Roomba by iRobot, which is a fairly common product, but it's actually not that great, we found out. There are many reviews complaining about hair getting caught in the motors and slowing the thing down, having to clean it out every day, so not a great option. Second one was Nino Robotics, which also has another automated cleaning design. And while this one was better, people also complained about not getting that deep clean that they really wanted for their carpet. So they still have to come back every now and then with the vacuum and do it manually, which is not the point. It's not supposed to be automated. Finally, some people will choose maids and have those work, but sometimes maids are on a tight schedule and they need to go to their house, they won't necessarily do a great job, and the subscription fees for them rack up to high costs over time. So when we put our product on this chart, we found that it rated very high on both the efficiency scale and the effectiveness for cleaning the carpet scale. And our product is the Carpet Tiger. All right, so the Carpet Tiger is an automated carpet cleaning robot specifically for pet hair. And while we designed it to be for pet hair, it can also be used as a general purpose application for cleaning carpets and for cleaning hardwood or tile floors. So you could use it for your entire house. And we have a 3D model design right there of what it might look like. So in order to make our product really stand out from the rest, we we have a few main technology features. And so I want to talk about those. So arrow A points to the first one, which is a canister vacuum. This is commodity technology, and it's very effective in really producing a lot of vacuum suction as compared to products like iRoomba or Nido, which have very small vacuums or just rotating bristles, which aren't really vacuums. Those get clogged up really easily. So the canister vacuum allows us to really pick up a lot of hair. Okay. Arrow B points to the autonomy of our robot, kind of references that. And so this is really important because cleaning pet hair is just an arduous, annoying, tedious task that repeats itself like every week or sometimes even every day if you have like golden, retrievers. They're just a pain. So having this autonomy allows people to go to work, rest assured, knowing that, our house is going to be clean when we come home, not filled with disgusting pet hair. And arrow C points to our own personal design. This is not on any products in the market right now that we know of, which is a static roller. Essentially, this generates static electricity in a moving belt, which allows us to pick up more cat hair, or pet hair in general, that may have been left behind by the vacuum. This allows us to really get a level of cleanliness that you don't find in products today. So let's talk about the market that I'm going to be delving into. So currently, people are willing to pay quite a bit for good quality vacuums. The household vacuum market is $11.4 billion. And the subset of that we're trying to tap into, robotic vacuums, occupies $2.16 billion and is growing. We want to target people who have pets and are working, and that's almost 70 million people in the United States alone. And so this is a pretty big share of that 2.16 billion. Now, how are we going to get our name out there? This is very important. We have a few ideas. The first is by generating promotional media. We plan to send a few free versions of our product to some tech reviewers like those found in the Wired magazine and have them get reviews out of what our product is like. Kind of a subset of this is on Amazon, there's a new technology section where new technology specifically is featured, and we hope our product can be on there. Another way that we plan to get our name out is by selling very discounted versions of our product to major retailers like PetSmart or Walmart. By giving very low costs on the initial quantity that we sell, they're incentivized to put it on their shelves. And by doing that, they can see how the product will sell. And if they like it, they can order more at the full cost. So now how will we continue to make money? A lot of our money we plan to make from direct sales, selling individual units through the same retailers mentioned earlier, Walmart, PetSmart, Target, and others. By doing this, people get the product quickly and easily into their hands. Another way that we were tossing around that is a possibility was licensing our product to another established company, such as Swiffer or Dyson. And what I mean by this is that they take our product, put their name on it, and sell it. And we get some of the royalties from those sales. But we would much prefer to sell directly. All right, so here's the amazing team that made this happen. We have Anish, Jacob, and Daniel. So if you guys could come up here, that'd be awesome.
All right, and then panelists, if you guys have any questions for the team?
I'll start. So to clarify, this does not replace a current robotic vacuum or regular vacuuming. This is specifically for pet hair, is that correct?
So it was designed for that, but it can also be used to clean carpets and tile flooring in general. So it can replace the current technology.
And so just to a little bit deeper on the actual mechanism itself, it's picking up the pet hair and then depositing it in the canister. Is that something that exists currently, or is this a new design on a current technology?
So we haven't seen anything that is actually fully autonomous that goes around like a Roomba and picks stuff up. We did kind of make a motto for our product specifically. So it's basically a lot like a Roomba where it goes around and picks stuff up. But Roombas don't have vacuums, which means that they're not as effective.
Sweeping.
So the motto was, in order to make a product that doesn't suck, we have to make a product that actually does suck using vacuums.
Great presentation overall.
Yes.
I really like it. And
Thank you.
I think you guys should develop it over the summer and go on Shark Tank or something.
Hopefully, yeah.
Do you have any sense of pricing, or kind of where's the pricing sit relative to what's out there today? What were your thoughts about that?
The pricing, for the price, I believe it was around $500
or $600.
$600, which is, about half as much as you pay for, say, one like a Roomba, which goes for about 900?
$960.
Oh,
Some of the
that
higher-
much? I didn't know that.
Yeah. The latest model that's supposed to be the most efficient and the best is $960 on the iRoomba website.
Yeah, thank you. And was the market size data relative for the US or was that global?
That was relative for the US.
Okay, thank you. Really good.
Thank you.
Anything else from our panelists? No?
Oh, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not a panelist, but I have questions for them.
If we could just limit all the, we will have time right afterwards to kind of chat through that, just to keep on time, or should we? Yeah. Normally this part's just for the panelists, so we'll keep to that right now, but guys, we've got a potential customer over here that might have a question, so. Let's keep an eye out for that.
Next up is adaptable.
Press down to.
Yep.
So our product is adaptable, software customization and distribution for teams. So to demonstrate one use case, I'm going to show you the story of my friend David. So he just got a job at a really big video game development company as a 3D modeler. But the sad thing is, he can't immediately work with his teammates on these 3D models. He needs to ensure compatibility between his tools and theirs. But with adaptable, he can leave all the hassle. Of software configuration and add-on installation to the IT managers. So adaptable lets the IT managers from a simple web interface configure the applications, select the plugins they want, and just generate a single file to give to all of their employees and people on David's team. So without adaptable, every single person needs to install the software, set it up, activate all the plugins. But with adaptable, only the IT manager or whoever is responsible in the team has to configure the software and set up plugins. And all the team members have to do is install it. So our target audience is mainly development companies like Google and Dropbox and design companies like Pixar. And our strategy to advertise ourselves is to do that on popular social media networks like Reddit, LinkedIn, GitHub, so people have a place to research more about us. And just by the nature of the product, if one team member adopts it, the whole team has. So it's sort of a viral marketing strategy. So how do we actually get money? We would do that by letting other companies supply paid plugins and add-ons that teams can incorporate into their customized software. And we would take about 10% of the sales for that. And we would also offer a subscription service for teams to get continual updates to their customized applications. We think out of all the existing alternatives, our software is the best suited for the specific goal of customizing individual software pieces. So how does adaptable actually help your company overall? Adaptable can save precious setup time. And as they say, time is money. So the team could just come up. So So Adaptable was created by Aaliyah, me, Ryan, and David.
Thanks, guys. Panel, if you guys have any questions.
So good stuff, but, so you're configuring something for my use. How does the IT manager know what my customer needs are?
So it's supposed to be for teams working on similar projects, working on like the same project, and you all need the same tool set for compatibility usually. And so if you can just communicate with your IT manager or whoever's in charge what tool set you need, they can easily set it up through the Adaptable interface.
I understand the problem for sure, certainly, and it makes sense at a certain size company where that time savings really adds up to a lot of money. But I didn't understand how you guys were looking at, where does your revenue stream come from? So a percentage of plugins?
So it's sort of like, you can use the App Store as an analogy. We allow other companies to supply their content, their plugins for software like Blender, IntelliJ, GIMP, or they're the software that we're currently thinking about allowing the customization of through Adaptable. So they can supply their own plugins and charge for them, and we take about 10% of their sales.
Right, but an IT manager will usually have a list of, these are the approved plugins that we're, installing for the team. But you're saying you would open that kind of to a marketplace to where people could actually try to kind of get their plugin into that approved list?
Yes, we're hoping
that
can be the case.
Oh, thank you.
Just
there you go.
Any other questions?
Have you seen anything similar out there in the market to what you guys are trying to do, or how do you clearly distinguish what you're doing versus what you've seen?
So we have seen sorry, it's tough to scroll through this. We have seen very similar options, but none of them seem to be specifically
Can
designed
you slide over a
for
little so we
installing
can see the
individual
slide?
tools.
You just slide over. Thank you.
WDS is Windows Deployment Services.
So what are the 2 or 3 things I need to know from this slide?
You need to know that some of these are very bad, very old solutions, and a lot of them, like Ansible, Windows Domain, are actually designed for software deployment, but none of them make it that easy to deploy individual software pieces. Like if you just need one tool, Adaptable would probably be the route to go, because it doesn't require the installation of any other software or a specific operating system or anything like that.
Okay, there's not as many dependencies with what
Yeah.
you're doing. Okay, thank you. That's very helpful to show that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good backup slide, guys.
Thanks.
All right, last but not least is foodies.
Okay. I'm Quinn, I'm here representing Foodies. I'm Maxon, and
I'm Preeti.
meet Susan. Susan has just sat down at a breakfast joint to grab a salad for breakfast. She's very interested in monitoring her calories and how much money she's spending on food. So what does she do? She pulls out the biggest calorie counting app on the planet currently, MyFitnessPal. But she's kind of discouraged. She realizes she has to put in calories and manually enter information for every single ingredient that goes into the salad. This means she goes through almost 20 steps just to say, oh, this is how many calories I'm going through to add a salad. So this is kind of discouraging for her. She's not sure she wants to keep counting calories when there are this many steps just to say, oh yeah, I had a salad. Not only that, she's very interested in knowing, hey, how much am I spending per week on food? Because that's something that, you really can't estimate very well. What does she use? She uses the biggest budgetary planner on the market currently called Mint. This is a great planner because it looks at your credit card history to say how much have you spent. The only thing is it can only tell you time frames like every month or every few months. So she doesn't know, hey, I spent more this morning than I did last week for breakfast. She has no idea. So this is a problem facing millions of people across the planet today. People who eat out often are finding that they are discouraged from tracking their budgets, tracking calories, and this is mainly due to the slow processes available on the market today. They don't want to be stuck for a minute entering raw details about, which type of beet was in their salad. They just want to eat the food. So there's no information breakdown for how well, oh yeah, I spent this much this week compared to last week and I really need to adjust my spending. There's no way to really figure that out. So why is this important right now? People are actually spending more recently than dining out than they actually have been spending on groceries. That means people are eating out more than ever, and that's a ridiculous amount of food. So what's our solution? We at Foodies want to make sure that Susan never encounters this discouragement again, either with budget or with calories. We want to make counting calories and checking up your budget as easy as taking a single picture of your plate. So literally, in a snap, knowing exactly what you're eating. This keeps her very focused on her goals. No longer is she discouraged by time or not being able to know data. She knows exactly in a single picture how much she's spending and how many calories are in what she's eating. This also allows us to give her dynamic food recommendations. We can say, oh yeah, you set a goal for $1,000 on food. We can help you attain this goal by saying, oh yeah, you should probably eat at Torchy's tonight. It'll be a little bit cheaper than what you normally eat at. Not only that, we can also target, let's say I want a healthy snack. We can tell them to ship in a box of snacks to her workplace so she can hit her calorie goal for the day and not go over. So what exactly is the technology? We're using something called geolocation, which is already used in every single picture you take to figure out where you are. With this, we can know, hey, you're sitting down at this restaurant right here, right now. And we know with visual recognition systems, Amazon Recognition, which is an AI system for identifying images. We're actually going to train this on menu items in your food. So it can determine what you are eating, how many calories are in it, and what sort of amount it costs. This allows us to give data on Susan's and anybody else's food while allowing for these smart food recommendations.
So let's walk over how Foodies actually works. So Foodies is as easy as open, snap, done. First, sorry about this, how do you do this?
This one, yeah, right there. Huh. Other one. Wait, I'll take a break.
Well, so you click on Foodies, of course, and you open the application. And then you just take a picture of whatever food you're eating. For this example, a steamy bowl of ramen. Instantly, our Foodies recognition program knows what's the ramen's name, the amount of calories that's in the bowl, and how much it costs. And as you swipe right, it'll aggregate the amount of calories throughout the day that you have eaten and the total amount of budgets that you have spent on this weekly budget set goal. In addition, we have the recommended for yous, which will be explained on the next slide, which is our two main target audiences, which is restaurants and this booming industry called food boxes, which sends food boxes, either snacks, other snacks, foreign snacks, anything from snacks right now, to you dedicated from our, how we can incorporate it from us is that we use their specific calorie counts and budgets, and they tailor the food boxes and send it directly to your work location or your home, wherever that might be. So our revenue model is that the users are free to use. We won't charge the users anything, but for the businesses to pay for higher visibilities on our recommendation list. As said, the prepackaged meal companies have over 1 million food packages over the years, and it's a booming industry and has been putting in ad revenues throughout the internet to have more traction, same as restaurants. So I believe we see that it's also beneficial for them to invest in our platforms to gain more tractions overall. For metrics and maybe.
So for key metrics, how we're going to measure our milestones. So first, we want to measure our percentage of food recognition accuracy, and then also we want to count the number of partnerships that we have with restaurants as well as prepackaged meal companies. So here's a look at our competitive landscape. So right now we have our main competitors like Mint, MyFitnessPal, and Lose It on there, but Foodies exceeds all of these companies in its ease of use and its features. So our go-to market strategy. Our early adopters are going to be popular food critics. And what this allows us to do is if we have our users follow popular food critics and look at what they eat on a weekly basis and how much they spend and what calories they consume, we can access their large following of people and maybe even encourage more of their following to use our app. We're also looking for foodie Austinites who just want to keep their calories in check and work on a balanced budget. And our eventual target is 25 to 35-year-old city dwellers who eat out on a regular basis and just want to maintain like a healthy calorie and a balanced budget. This is our wonderful foodies dream team that made it all possible. Any questions?
Go ahead.
So I don't understand the revenue streams. I don't understand why are you recommending prepackaged meals? Because if I like to eat out, then you're changing my behavior to tell me to eat at home, which I will hate, I guess.
So one of the major pain points we saw is people, for whatever reason, they don't like cooking at home as much, especially if you live in a downtown area. It's very easy to go out and get food. We just wanted a revenue model where we can profit based on how much we recommend certain services. Food boxes are a booming industry. We actually have a slide on here. They are selling more than 1 million boxes per year. Yeah, here, go ahead. It's a service that has a lot of money to invest in the ad revenue. That's how they get out to customers. We'd like to kind of take advantage of that and say, hey, we'll ship you a snack to tide you over to dinner instead of having to buy lunch at McDonald's. They will hit your goals for the day.
Who pays for the delivery?
So they handle everything. We're kind of acting as an intermediary.
They meaning
they
the
already
box
have infrastructure for acquiring the food, doing deliveries. We just kind of act as a middleman.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the actual act of the calorie counting. Are you saying that that's done through, I saw a machine learning slide in there, is that machine learning or is it machine vision, or is that something where your user base actually will put those calories in so that way you have kind of predefined dishes with calorie count?
So we wanted to use a combination of locations, so we know, hey, you're eating at this McDonald's, and based on pictures that people post on Instagram, social media all the time, we can actually train the machine vision to say, hey, this is a cheeseburger versus a Big Mac. And we already know because they are legally required to publish their calorie count and their prices. We know exactly how much it costs and exactly how many calories it has.
What about it like a nice restaurant where it's a lot different, it's not quite as common?
We can still find that people, especially nice restaurants, they tend to post more expensive meals with more frequency. So we can, again, train off of social media and see what the restaurants release for menus online to pull from and get data.
So in your go-to-market strategy and getting customers, your customer is actually the box food supplier? That's the one who will pay you?
Yes, those are who are getting the
That's where
revenue
you
from.
make money.
Yeah.
You didn't talk about how you will get there. Now you got the end customer who will buy, but ultimately you have to figure out how to get the business that will pay you.
We were planning on an initial capital investment system where we say, hey, if you let us use our service, we'll pay for 2 days users trying it out to see if you see a significant bump in revenue, a significant amount of customers, so they will be likely to invest in the future.
Same thing for restaurants. So you almost have to build a...
We have to build trust, yeah.
You need to build a consumer base that's large, and then these guys will be interested. To build a large consumer base, you need some of these guys interested up front.
Also,
That's the challenge you will run into.
Let's talk about this. And we're also thinking about maybe food critiques, like people with blogs all over the internet. And since it's free to use, once they see that the food critiques is using this app, they might be interested in pertaining into this and going on. Yeah.
I think this is a good idea, but anyways, one of the things you should think about is go work with some of the restaurant reservation apps and see if you have another feature.
I also think it's a good idea. I've really enjoyed your presentation. Is there a reason why you've coupled budget and calories both in the same app as opposed to just tackling one or the other really, really well?
Well, I'll go part of it into it and Quentin can explain the rest maybe. So at first we started off as Foodies, this amazing application that can take a picture of a food, any food at all, and gets you the calorie count, how much sugar's in it, and all the nutrients inside that food. So what we found out is it's really complicated to do so. It needs so much deep learning, so much mechanical complexities that I am not a specialty of, to be able to go and delve into that. And then wrap the rest maybe.
Okay. So we basically talked to a lot of people. We saw that, one, the major pain points were calorie counting is a pain in the butt. One guy was saying he took almost a minute to type in a continental breakfast on his phone. So we wanted to really target a market where You can say, hey, we give you an easier way to count calories, but two, there's a lot of people, especially in the metropolitan area, who are eating out all the time. As we saw by our statistic, more and more Americans are doing so. So with this, we can kind of kill two birds with one stone that everybody really kind of wants to solve from what we've found in validation, and really give them a simple solution that takes them 2 seconds to do so.
My only feedback to you guys to consider is do one thing really well first, and the other things will flow.
Especially if it's something that's really, really hard. That means it's going to be hard to have a competitor that will come in and be able to compete.
That's right.
So
And this is a massive play. I mean, one thing is a massive play. So that something to consider, but thank you.
And your target audience is too tight. You need to go 25 to 55 probably. I mean, anything above 35 people have the income to be able to spend money to eat out all the time or do that often. So
okay. Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Okay. How's that?
Good.
Ready?
Cool. Great.
So the target is at least 3 IPOs. Alright. So thank you everybody again. Thanks to all of the volunteers, our mentors, our panelists. Thank you all for putting all the time. I know these students. Also thank everybody who came to see the pictures of family and friends and potential investors. But also thank all the students. They put in a lot of work. They came in, Friday night, and I know that's after we talked about this. Like we're just thinking back, man. When I was in high school and I was done the week after spring break, mind you, which is just the week you're just trying to survive, and then you come in, have a long night, and then starting back off the entire weekend. We know you guys put in a lot of time and effort. We appreciate it and applaud you. Thank you. So with that, I will let you all go. I know the students probably want to catch some sleep. So thank you, everybody. Thanks again. We look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Seeing you.
Sleep. Thank you.
Good plan.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a fun time.
Good seeing you.
We're getting better.
Oh yeah. I wish I could have done Good job. Good job. It's hard to do.
Takes me a while to. Thank you.
I want to say you guys did a great job, and I think that there's actually a potential for something there. It's a great presentation.
Good job. No problem. As long as it helps.
Are you coming out? Okay. All right. Yeah, it's out east near airport there, and
So everybody started with you. Thank you very much for helping us mentor. Really appreciate it. It's much improved from day one. Oh my
Maybe next. What do we do? Maybe we'll see. We might do a meeting.
Gang, you know we gotta get gang. Because we can take other people also. They're just having a
Do you want to meet at IHOP or?
I just need to find a friend.
Okay. Let me tell my friends.
What do you mean?
The water bottle. Thank you for all your help. Yeah, sure. Nice meeting you. Thank you for all your help.
Really
I've heard the word.
You sure you can't? It's really good. Sorry. Thank you for coming. Okay. Thank you very much for mentoring. I really appreciate it. That was a lot.
Okay, see, I go for the handshake, I make the high five, go for the handshake.
How do we want to do the tables?
There's normally more here, but I don't know how to expect it. So as long as we have them, they're normally in the row.
Okay, so there's no, okay, perfect.
Yeah, they're normally in the rows, yeah. So as long as you have it like that, thank you for your help.
Absolutely. Never turned out Are you guys continuing on with this? You might be planning on meeting next week or something. You know what, if you guys want to ever hit me up about like schools or companies or anything like that, are you on LinkedIn? I still have your business card. You still got it? I'm still consulting with like 7 or 8 3DS companies. So, yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely do that.
Business cards, man.
Hey, thanks, man. Oh, yeah, for sure.
I'm sure I'll see you if not one of you out Hey, you all are coming for the innovation workshops, right? Right? You can still change your mind. Yeah, just needless there.
It's fine.
Yeah.
They rearrange it all the time.
Yeah, no, this is the way we want to leave them.
Kelly said she was going to ask Shane whether or not we had anything with that.
Oh, yeah. We can work good to leave these.
Say that again?
We're good to leave the chairs.
Oh, that was really good.
Yeah. So maybe if we just like kind of come over this way.
Thanks for your help.
I didn't realize it was
I know.
Where do you go afterward? Like,
I know, and we're looking to really get to ask all these questions.
what if you do this?
I know, you hear them, you're like, wait,
Thank you, sure.
now,
Thank
you
you
know,
for your help,
like,
man. Absolutely. Yeah, you did great.
Mom, are you there? Oh. Yeah, great.
Oh, they left that piano.
Of course, good job up there. Great.
I would have liked those are just so expensive.
I know, right? Well, now you, now you.
Why did you get a whiteboard?
I don't pay for it on my wall and I'm about to buy one.
Turn your wall into a whiteboard on my own.
I did that.
Yeah.
Well, you know how
Yeah,
it works,
had
right?
things, I know.
I do.
There are programs like we don't have desks in.
That's mine. I'll fight you for it.
Per hour, rotate per hour, so you gotta do something.
Or maybe extend this a little bit, let us ask questions.
Yeah.
No, we want to ask one the other.
Hey, thanks so much for
Because they can
seeing you, Jeff McMahon. Good to see you again. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah, it's good to see these guys.
Yeah,
especially in high school.
Good one. Thank you so much.
Great seeing you. I'll see you down here one of these days.
Of course, sounds good.
All right.
Thank you again. Nice
Yeah.
meeting you. All right, great. Enjoyed it. And are you doing the follow one?
Yeah.
Now? Awesome. You'll have so much fun doing that. That's good. Cool. It was nice to meet you guys. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I don't know where the other people are.
What else we got, Kelly?
Just figuring out this table here. Is anyone? Is it locked?
There's a thing right here.
Oh, this thing. These. There we go. Yeah, I think we should be good then.
2 chairs?
Oh, perfect. Yeah, as long as we clear this off. I don't see anything major on the floor. Like this.
Alrighty, I think I'm gonna head out.
Cool. Thank you so much for all your help this weekend.
Yeah.
Good to see
Yeah.
you again.
It's great working with you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Working with you guys.
Yes.
Awesome. Have a good rest of your weekend.
Yeah.
What's off today?
Hey, Kelly.
Yes.
Is this ours or is it ours?
I think we'll all brought that all in. Yeah.
Even this out, you guys need some tables?
Yeah, we're okay.
Can we get some table game?
Yeah.
Oh, did I need a little power? Can I
This
still
one
have
has
with-
power.
Oh, but never mind.
Power too.
Oh, I could.
If you want to, well, if you want to move this.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out, but we only have one, so. Is that just OCD, or would anybody think of doing that?
Would what? What?
Would everybody think of doing that, or is that an OCD
No, I
problem?
think you're smart. I think it's good. I don't know if that's an OCD problem. I think that Kelly was mentioning it earlier.
I think it's perfect.
Very good.
Yeah. This room is broken down and built up so often, like. Yes. Actually, I did. I was thinking.
Who was taking this down to school?
We good? We're done? This goes that lose, it's our ball now.
So, who took this?
Whose backpack is that?
I think that's like Kelly's or.
Okay. She, I take it she's still around. Well, we need some Starman Labs t-shirts next time. Take those. Cool.
Thing.
Bring this to the fifth one. Later, y'all. Thanks for all y'all.
Looking forward to your $1 billion idea.
Are there any bags in here?
This room still smells like Indian.
Water bottle, doors. Boom. Yeah, it does. It probably will for like 3 more days. 3 more days.
A little tasty.
I need another trash bin.
That's good. No, don't say that stuff. When you say that stuff, bad things happen. You just hit a trick. You said that you hit a trick.
You're fine.
No, don't.
I've watched enough basketball, dude.
You're clearly not.
I've watched enough. Okay, here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna inbound the ball. They're gonna take it down to about 10 seconds for step out. Carolina, gonna make 1 and 2, 5, still 2 possession games.
Thanks again for yeah, always. Thank you. Cheers. Yeah.
And now Kentucky had 3. So I hate you. Like, just never touch it. All right. No! Yes. Boom! Oh, yeah. Oh my god.
That's crazy. That was a sweet shot.
Just 3 seconds.
new pictures up here. Okay, check this out though.